Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at some games from MENA RLCS last weekend. MENA just had the craziest regional that we've ever seen in the history of the region, and one of the craziest regionals that any region has had in the history of RLCS, because this was so unpredictable. And yeah, obviously going to contain spoilers here, but the grand final did not contain Falcons or Twisted Minds. The two top teams in MENA both missed the grand final, and they both got stomped. Oh my goodness, how's that not a goal? What a save. They both got stomped in the respective semi-finals that they played. It was 4-1 that Falcons were eliminated, and 4-0 was the score that had Twisted Minds being eliminated. So absolutely insane stuff here. We're going to be taking a look at some of the games, but we're also skipping over a 3-0 win for Twisted Minds against Falcons, because I mean, compared to the other results, I guess that just isn't that crazy. Even though Twisted Minds sweeping Falcons is a pretty big deal in the group stage. Falcons had a decent winning streak going over Twisted Minds as they were establishing themselves as the expected #1 in the region. But yeah, MENA's just gone absolutely insane, and this is a really big deal for the split, really big deal for the season, because MENA, of course, only having 2 spots for RLCS majors. You need to be making grand finals if you're going to be in the top 2. Neither of the top 2 teams in the region have done that, so now it is wide open. Now we're on Abdullah POV. He's against Twisted Minds, obviously. Oh, nice infield pass and shot to tie the game by TM. But of course, Twisted Minds now puts the RK Monkey Moon. Absolutely insane roster. RAT Sports, Ghazi and Abdullah, they had a World Championship qualification last year, playing with Twiz. Now they've gone with Mohammed, M7MD, aka Mohammed. He is a Kuwaiti player, so one of the most successful non-Saudi Arabian, also non-import players in the region. Really cool to see. And they are giving Twisted Minds a real run for their money in that #2 team in the region category. They already were last split. They beat Twisted Minds in Regional 3. Now they've beaten them again in Regional 4 of the season. So 2 out of the 4 regionals, half the regionals, they've outperformed Twisted Minds in. And the other 2 TM have outperformed them. But that second spot is really up for grabs. Twisted Minds did not make it out of their group in Boston, of course. They finished 3rd. So if R8 can make the Paris Major and Twisted Minds don't, they just need a top 8 finish in Paris, and they steal that top 2 spot, automatically qualify for Worlds ahead of Twisted Minds, which would be unheard of. Oh my goodness, what a dunk. That's just it. Abdullah with a huge read for 2-1. And yeah, this is going absolutely brilliantly for them. Now obviously, the other result that we're going to take a look at is Twisted Minds getting eliminated. Not by R8, a team who have been consistently putting in deep runs in MENA, and you know, not a team who have been challenging them before, but a team Stallions. Really random loss. We'll talk about that more after this one. But yeah, Twisted Minds are in a bit of trouble here. They are in a bit of a weird spot, because you beat Falcons, you think, nice, we're back to contending for #1, and then you just lose to 2 teams who are ranked below you. And then Falcons also lose to that same team, R8, who really are making a case not just for being top 2 in the region, but contending for top 1 with some very impressive results. But this series did go to Game 7. We're not looking at Game 7 here. Picked out a game in the middle that I thought was a fun one to watch. But this did go to Game 7, so Twisted Minds were very close to putting themselves in a phenomenal spot. You know, debatably a tougher side of the bracket, actually, because Falcons were waiting for the winner of this match in the playoff bracket. So you could argue that it was 300 IQ to lose, actually, because you dodged the Falcons side of the bracket. But that only works if you end up winning out on the other side of the bracket that you're in, which Twisted Minds did not do. And yeah, it looks like they are going to score here, though. Pressure just mounting there on R8. They weren't able to keep the ball out of their net. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys watching this video don't follow MENA regionals super closely. You kind of just wait and see what the results were at the end of the weekend. But if there's ever a time to watch, it is this split. This is going to be insane. We already knew that it was going to be a fun region to watch with the addition of Monkey Moon and Drally to the top teams. Finally looking like there wouldn't just be a you know, one team dominating the region like we've had for the previous seasons. But yeah, now we really do have other teams making that jump and giving the top teams a run for their money, making the region all the more interesting. Great challenge there by Mohammed on the recovery, helping out Abdullah, who didn't really want to go with the bump being threatened. Final minute, Abdullah again clattered off the backboard, got a piece of the ball though. the activity from R8 is good. They're not giving that midfield away for free to Twisted Minds. Now let's just look in here and see how the end of this game goes as Abdullah displays for the bump, realizing that the ball was already in a safe position in the Twisted Minds backboard. Now here comes Naupo. He doesn't get much on that. It's going to be too far for TRK to chase down as well. I saw TRK tweeting after the R8 success this past weekend, congratulating Ghazi. Turns out they're actually from the same clan in Saudi Arabia, so a little bit of friendship there, despite the rivalry being on different teams. And Mohammed knocks it down the line. Monkey Moon lets it drop for overtime. Let's see if R8 can come out on top. Actually, a intentionally slow approach on the kickoff there, using the wave dash. Not something you see all that often. And again, cutting off in that midfield. They'll have to cut rotation. MENA as a region love to cut rotation. They don't want to challenge from deep. They want to cut about in the midfield, make those surprising challenges from behind. Now Ghazi into the middle. Got to be careful though. Now Pope. Such a dangerous player in the air. Mohammed does well. Forces him high. Made sure to get as much coverage as he could there. And Monkey Moon unable to get the ball past Abdullah, who does dive in. Now Abdullah with the redirect to the midfield. Can Monkey Moon get it? Oh, he can only knock it into his own net. It does make it in, and that is game. Now let's take a look at the defender POV here, because this, yeah, was a pretty aggressive dive by Naupo, and Abdullah dusts him, winning the game. And R8 were able to take down Twisted Minds in 7 to advance into the top 4. Let's get into the next game. Alright, it's going to be Twisted Minds again, this time against Stallions, the team that nobody expected to really have a chance in this matchup. Semi-final, Stallions, we're all thinking, yeah, they could be pretty chuffed with this. Top 4 in MENA, behind 3 very strong teams. Good result, but no, that's not what happened. Stallions sweep Twisted Minds, and they do it off the back of some phenomenal solo plays, some great team plays, good trust in each other. But we're on Truk POV here. Twiz, last year's teammate of Ghazi and Abdullah, teaming up with Truk and Nush. That's Nush, the ones player Nush. So some of you guys will have seen him on my channel before. Yeah, absolutely insane. I don't know what on earth's going on in MENA for this team to be playing this well. Obviously, we know that there are lots of mechanical players in MENA. There are lots of teams. We have a lot of potential, a lot of talent. But when you've got a roster of Naupo, TRK, and Monkey Moon, you just think that there's going to be way too much for them to really have a chance of losing. Never mind getting swept. But for me, I have to assume that this is a case of, well, first of all, Twiz, Truk, and Nush playing a great series. You don't beat TM without playing a great series. But I would not be surprised as well if TM have underestimated them here. Oh, good save there by Truk, as it should have probably been a goal there for Twisted Minds. We are in game 1 here of their series. Again, I could have picked out any of them, so it was a sweep. It was 4-0, but I wanted to pick out this one because it was a fun one to watch. Really set the tone for the series, I think. Twisted Minds maybe underestimating their opponents a little bit, thinking ahead, thinking, okay, we can just make it into the grand final, put ourselves in a good spot early, and then wait for either the rematch with Falcons or the rematch with R8, 2 teams that they played already in this event. That's a nice idea there by Truk, but Monkey Moon skips past him. Twiz deflecting the ball high to the corner. More physical play by Truk onto Twisted Minds. Monkey Moon looking for the drop down pass, now Naupo couldn't get it. Yeah, so far pretty even match, pretty even game. You will see that there's a lot of drive challenges, a lot of drive ahead demos coming out of Stallions. They just make sure to play the ball all the time, and when you do that and the opponent puts it over you, you very often get a bump or a demo onto them. It's one of the advantages of just simply ball chasing in your challenges. Hard to outplay, well, hard to fake you if you do that, impossible to fake you if you do that, really. But you get a lot of just coincidental bumps and demos, which is always nice. Another one landing there, Naupo getting taken out of the game. It's good control by Nush to dispossess Twisted Minds, bringing Twiz into it. There's that new boost indicator, which I love, by the way. That's a lot of people on the timeline, a lot of people on social saying that they don't like the idea of the boost indicator. They think it removes the skill element of the game, which you could make a case for. I think it does. Definitely make it easier for players to know when that boost is going to respawn, whereas before you might have just had to know basically the eternal timing that you got. I like it. I think there's still that skill-based element, because it doesn't, it doesn't show you the entire time. There's no countdown timer on it. It's just a glowing, I guess, light that appears on it, the white light. I would like it to be yellow though. It's a bit, I don't know. The fact that it starts off as white and then becomes yellow. I wish it was just like a slightly dimmer yellow as it warms up. But yeah, that's just a small thing, I guess. Overall, a good change, just like the boost in the nameplates. And I think people are just being too critical, looking for something to complain if they are complaining about it. So many demos by Trick, and now Chance should have put that on target. That was a big chance on the counter attack. Yeah, Twisted Minds have not had the easiest time staying alive in this matchup. Trick now misses. He tried to take that off the wall. Again, looking for the demo and the recovery, but they're down 3-1. So, at this point in the game, we're already thinking, okay, nothing to see here. I remember as we part in NA and MENA thinking, alright, back to North America, nothing to see here. Don't even need to probably watch this one anyway. Twisted Minds are going to win, no problem. And they're up 3-1 in game 1. Yeah, just as you'd expect. This is going to be an easy semi-final, and then we'll lock in for the other semi-final and the grand final. But not the case. Minute to go. Let's see what happened next. And let's see what started to be the demise of Twisted Minds in this matchup. Really doesn't come for a while though. We're already 10 seconds gone. But Trick finds Twiz in the middle off the back of another demo that had Twisted Minds rotation a little bit open. And now 48 seconds to go. They're only down by that one goal. Twisted Minds gonna need to do some work off the kickoff. Fake by Trick. Oh, the post hit from Twiz. Accuracy once again plaguing them. That should have been better with the finish. Not for the first time this game, but again, demos are the difference. Twisted Minds can't stay alive in the matchup, and Stallions tie it. It's been the theme all game long. They are just getting demoed so many times, and Stallions tying the game with just over 30 seconds to go. We're just under 30 seconds now. Nash with the grind double attempt. He doesn't get it. Doesn't get the ball on the second try either. Absolutely insane stuff here. Demo's still pouring in. As Stallions in this game, they landed 8. Twisted Minds landed 6. Not the most insane numbers, but it really did seem like a lot of these were consequential. They were demos that mattered, and a lot of players getting forced out of position, even if demos aren't landing. Final few seconds. Oh, good keep up there by Twisted Minds. Monkeyman to the side. Didn't get that one towards a teammate. And we will decide it in overtime. Intentional kickoff lost by Twisted Minds. This has worked out pretty well for them. Boost advantage to the favourites, but not by a big deal. Now suddenly down the line, it goes the other way. Twiz with the fake. Good pull away from that one. Now did cover the follow-up shot from Trick anyway. 20 seconds in, and it's Twisted Minds trying to keep the ball in their back corner. Trick with a little bit of space. Times his arrival well and scores it. The Twisted Minds could not stabilize here in their back corner. They couldn't get a safe 50. And really, I mean, this is unnecessary by TM. They're just all in the corner here, and all you want here is for the ball to go somewhere apart from middle. Anything but this is fine. But yeah, Twisted Minds, and I think MENA as a region very often get this wrong. They just send too many players to the corner, and something that's not really a threat turns into a threat. I mean, Nush has no boost here. He's not doing too much there unless you hit the ball into him. Trick does well. Puts the ball behind the goalies. Now pull move too far into the net. Kind of double committed on covering the far post. Could have sat still and didn't let Monkeyman cover that bit. If Naupo just stops here, he probably has a save. Yeah, not the best defense at Twisted Minds, and they did end up losing this, getting eliminated by Stallions, who advanced to the grand final in what has to be upset of the season over there in MENA. Wasn't the last one of the day though. Let's go and take a look at what that was. Alright guys, let's get into the last game of the video. We're going to look at R8 against Falcons. Mohammed POV. This is Mohammed from Kuwait, like I said, with Abdullah and Ghazi. And we're going to pick this up in game 2. Falcons 1-0 up. Lovely wall dash. And the dish finish as well by Mohammed for 1-0. From this moment onwards, it was 4 straight wins for R8. So not just Twisted Minds getting swept by Stallions, but Falcons also getting eliminated with 4 straight losses. 4 game losses in a row. Absolutely crazy stuff. To see both of the favorites in MENA losing 4 games in a row in semi-finals. This is not even a grand final. It's straight up in the semis. Nobody predicted this. Nobody would have ever predicted this. You'd be mad if you did. Like the small pad path in there by Mohamed. Just in case he had to cover mid. When he realized he didn't, that's when he went away for the big pad. It's good speed now. Getting up from deep. They do time their arrival very well, R8. I like their I like the way that they position. You'll see it a lot this game. Mohamed just comes in full speed and it jumps from quite deep at times. And you can, of course, win the race to the ball if you have got the momentum. Is that in? Oh, it is. Well, not the best 50-50 there by Mohamed. Drali's put it in from his own back corner. Yeah, let me know in the comments. What do you think is going to happen in this region, in this split, in MENA? Remember, like I said, with just 2 spots for the major, and R8 actually ended up winning the event. That means that if they can just make semi-finals twice in a row, from now on, if they just get eliminated in the semis, if both of the remaining finals for this split are Falcons against Twisted Minds, which is the grand final we thought we were going to see every single time this year. How wrong were we, by the way? If Falcons beat Twisted Minds in 2 finals in a row, or if Twisted Minds beat Falcons in 2 finals in a row, that would mean that R8 qualify, because they would have 1 win and 2 third places. And that's better than 2 second places and a third. So really a great start here for R8. Perfect start. But yeah, what do you guys think? Are they going to be able to do enough? Are they going to be able to play consistently? Are they going to be able to keep up their level now that the pressure's on? Now that they are expected to make the major almost. Over the top of 2 world-class teams, Falcons and Twisted Minds. 2 teams that everybody still has ranked in their top 10 worldwide. Falcons, I think, top 5 in everybody's rankings. Twisted Minds definitely top 10. Well, R8 beating both of them in 1 regional. Beating Twisted Minds the last 2 times they've played them. And actually nearly beating Falcons last time in Regional 3 also. They really could have won that. So R8 seem like they're the team who are improving. And now getting the wins that they need to put themselves in a really strong position. But yeah, MENA's got some good teams here. Twisted Minds, Falcons, and now R8 all looking like they're playing at the world-class level. And it's homegrown talent as well. No import needed for R8. So many demos in these games. Stallions on Twisted Minds and now R8 on Falcons. Looks like they're catching them off guard. Another one attempted there by Mohamed as he swoops across the backboard. And the mid pass is good for Abdullah to shoot, but off target. They're just swarming them right now. Good pace from R8. They clearly are not getting outsped in this matchup. They're not getting mechanically outclassed. They're able to keep up with Falcons and even beat them at times. That's a nice little pre-flip onto the boost. And then the threat of the demo by Mohamed. And they're controlling the midfield here against Falcons. Not a counter-attacking defensive performance that you might be expecting, but they might need one because actually they're the team who are getting hit in the counter here. It's Falcons, 5 saves to their name, just 1 for R8. No one home for the second time as a dunk goes on target. This time clears to put them up 2-1. So yeah, really interesting games here. Stallions against Twisted Minds having to come back from behind. Very physical. Having to be clinical down the stretch. And now R8 having to do the same thing. But this is what caused the springboard for their success. This is what allowed them to completely take over the series. That's really good play by Rawas, but Drali couldn't put it on target. Timing by Rawas was impeccable there, giving Falcons a real opportunity to take a huge advantage in the series. Remember, they already won game 1. They could take this one as well. You'd think it would be all over. And then they'd surely just be waltzing their way to another regional victory. Who knows? Maybe Stallions could have beaten them as well. They didn't get the chance to play them. Good speed. Perfect timing by Mohamed. It's off the post. Killers didn't know. And Ghazi slots to follow up to tie the game 2-2. That was, again, perfect timing by Mohamed. Coming in full speed for the ceiling read. And he put it close enough to the goal that the defender wasn't sure. Nice read by Mohamed. Much harder for the defender in that position. He does well. Gets it into a safe position. And now looking to get the reset past mid. Does so. Abdullah getting a bit ahead of it though. Not the best follow-up. Ghazi putting up a huge defensive stand. Not done yet. Abdullah with the save. as Jirali's follow-up shot went close. The Falcons making it tough for them in the final minute. Jirali landed on top of Mohamed. Mohamed is trying to keep the ball in the back corner, does well to ground it. And we're going to decide this one in overtime. Game 1 was also decided in overtime. Falcons got the win there. Mohamed early with the ceiling double reset. No follow-up from R8 on that one. Anyway, we're not taking a look at Ghazi POV in this video, but we might have to take a look at more R8 games. This Ghazi's also an incredible player. This full team's so fun to watch. If you have, players that you want to take a look at replays of, I'd recommend these guys. If you like watching players who move well and a team who just plays well around each other, you're going to need to start paying more attention to this R8 roster. Mohamed down the line, trying to keep the ball over the top of Falcons' heads. Ghazi not able to get much on that. Didn't need to though with Abdullah behind him. They got to be careful here though. It's Abdullah. Air dribbling the ball clear. Mohamed demo before he can get on the end of it. And Ghazi keeping it in the offensive end. Rawas gets demoed on his landing. Mohamed boostless. Still able to be relevant in the game. It's good read there on the double roll, ceiling and the ground as well. Mohamed boostless again. He's not had an easy time getting boost in this past minute or so, but he's still staying active. Notice he's not running away from the play looking for big boosts unless he knows he has time to do so. And now here he comes with 100 boost. Gets demoed immediately, and that's frustrating. After having a place with low boost for so long, you finally get 100 and you immediately get taken out of the game. It's just typical Rocket League. Now off the back wall. Mohamed air dribbling it across to Ghazi. He's not able to get into the air and contest it. Has to settle for the 50. Mohamed lurking in the middle. Pops it high. Kaliers is there. Ghazi boostless. He's got to be so careful here. Does well to dive across the net and saves R8. Not for the first time this game. Really good defense out of Ghazi. And Mohamed actually is parking underneath Kaliers there, just forcing something. Demos it again on his recovery. So many active recoveries in this matchup. Pops it high for Ghazi. Maybe a bit too high for it to be 100% comfortable, but Ghazi's got control. Abdullah follows up. 50-50. He has Falcons low boost actually. Mohamed is going to go sideways with this one. Just popping it into the sidewall, hoping that his teammate can get the next touch. They do. Abdullah with a fake jump. Big dunk. Mohamed with a quick recovery. And arrives perfectly again. And it's the same thing as we saw earlier. Just those quick arrivals. Not rushing into position too soon. Just waits and then dives in from deep. Jirali did not read this position at all. Ended up in a very awkward spot. Yeah, no chance. The shot's too good. Yeah, Kaliers, just like Twisted Minds in the last game, falling for the same idea. They're not controlling the ball in the back corner, going for the win on the 50 in a position where it would probably make more sense to just try and keep this one safe. Just try to deflect this to the left, make sure it doesn't go middle, but he tries to force it out into the middle, hoping his goalie can get on the end of that. When you've just got one player back like Jirali here, that's a big risk. You're putting them under a lot of pressure. If you've got the full squad back, if you've got Rawas back as well here, then the 50 mid is a bit more, is a bit safer, because you can have one player covering the net, one player ready to cover mid if the ball does go in this position. But well done, Mohamed. Just going for power, opted for the fast shot and putting it through. That was the beginning of R8's run that had them winning 4 straight games against Falcons and then going on to win the final against Stallions 4-2. They nearly swept that one. They were actually up 3-0. Stallions came back, made it a 3-2, and then in game 6, R8 closed it out, becoming regional champions. New regional champions in MENA. First regional, I think, ever that's not had TRK or the Twins in it. First regional final that's not featured TRK or the Twins. And it's R8 Esports who are your champions. So congrats to them. First QAT winner of an RLCS regional. Amazing to see. Yeah, what do you guys think? Like I said, leave in the comments what you think is going to happen. Which 2 teams do you think are going to make Paris? And bear in mind, if Twisted Minds miss Paris, they could be in a bit of trouble for their world spot as well. MENA does have the last chance qual most likely, which would be a backup plan for them or any other team who misses out on Paris and the direct world's qualification. But with all these up-and-coming teams in MENA, it's not a comfortable thing to have to wait for. You'd rather guarantee your qualification and obviously not missing Paris would be ideal as well, it being the biggest LAN event in Rocket League history. Not one you want to be watching from home. But yeah, GG's. Congrats again to R8 Esports and Stallions as well, making an impressive run. Falcons and Twisted Minds got some work to do. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Be sure to tune into the next MENA Regional in 2 weeks if you want to see what happens next. And I'll see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching. Take care.